You expected rising to feel lovely and calm, like the start of new life. Instead, your body has been acting strangely, tighter than it has ever been. Restless for no apparent cause. Are you hungry then? Not hungry, energetic, or weary at the same time. It is not only your thoughts that have altered. It is your complete nervous system. You cannot describe it. Here is the truth. No one informed you when your spiritual awakening would begin. Your body frequently knows before your mind. Your skin, breath, sleep, digestion, and energy all start to respond. Not because you're sick, but because you're changing, and the symptoms can be so severe and unusual that most people miss what's going on. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. This video is not about ambiguous symptoms. It is about the actual bodily changes. Your body experiences what happens when your soul awakens. Not years into the journey. Not after reading hundreds of books, but straight away when the veil lifts and your nature begins to respond. These are the indicators that go beyond tingling and lightness. These are the ones that jolt you, confuse you, and force you to question your reality, since your entire system is reformatting. So if you've been feeling weird in ways you can't explain, here's why. Let's look at the 7 powerful bodily symptoms that indicate your awakening has already begun. Even if you didn't realize it, you're laying in bed. No caffeine means no stress, but your body is buzzing from within, not shaking or jerking, just a deep, steady hum under your skin, as if a low-frequency current were going through you. You placed your hand on your chest. Nothing. Your muscles are relaxed, yet you feel energized. This is one of the earliest and most powerful outward indicators of an interior humming. It occurs when your energy body begins to activate while your neural system has yet to catch up. Your soul is coming online. Your consciousness is expanding, but your body is unable to understand the signal. So it conveys it as electricity, a hum, or a buzz. You feel it the most at night, when the world is silent and there is nothing to distract you. That is when the awakening current activates. You're not imagining it. You're not broken. You're not nervous. This is your life force flowing freely via pathways that have been inactive for years. Some feel it in their spines, while others feel it in their solar plexuses. For some, it begins in the feet and progresses upward. However, the emotion remains consistent. Something is awakening, and it isn't your imagination. This buzzing might last days or occur in waves. You'll know it's genuine because it always brings one emotion with it. A subtle realization that something irreparable has begun. You're not wired. You are waking up, and your body is listening. You're sitting idle and not doing anything physical. Your hands suddenly feel chilly. A frigid wave passes through your back, legs, and spine. Minutes later, the opposite occurs. Your body fills with warmth, as if someone switched on a furnace beneath your skin. There's no temperature or flu, but your inside temperature is rapidly shifting, and you don't understand why. This is one of the body's most strong initial responses to reactivating energy, thermal polarity. Your consciousness alters. Your body starts to process energy differently. The old, sluggish energy that kept you numb. It is being pushed out, and your body requires warmth as part of the process. The frigid waves represent density, leaving the repressed energy. Grief and dread, guilt, move out your tissues. It frequently feels like a coldness that does not react to comforters. You shudder within, yet your skin is not frigid to the touch. That's because it's not physically chilly. It's an enthusiastic release. Then comes the heat. Internal fires increase. Is your soul stepping in? It's as if your soul is recharging your inner batteries and restoring flow, whether it was previously blocked. This heat frequently rushes to your chest, head, and stomach. It may feel like a flush, but there is no humiliation, or like a fever, but there is no disease. The warmth of presence fills your body for the first time in years. The majority of folks panic. They believe something is awry. However, if you have had blood work done, your vitals examined, and everything appears to be normal, believe this. Your body is initiating the cold buy. The heat wakes and you transform. This is not an uncomfortable situation. It's an initiation. You consume the same items you normally do, yet your stomach responds strangely. Some days, you feel bloated for no apparent reason. Some days you're scarcely hungry. One instant you're full for hours. Then you're desiring pure, basic foods and rejecting anything processed. It's no longer about a diet. It is not even about digestion. What is happening is an energy cleaning of the belly. Your digestive system does more than merely process food. It is used to express emotion. It's where unresolved sentiments go when they're too overwhelming to confront. When you experience spiritual awakening, your soul begins to cleanse all of that out. Not just in the intellect, but also in the stomach. Your second brain and stomach sense it. Sudden changes in bowel habits, cramping without reason, random nausea, and acute thirst without exertion. These are not random bodily disorders. They indicate that your body is discharging emotional poisons. Fear is stored in the stomach lining. Shame is retained in the core and sealed in the intestines. Everything is moving out. You may feel really uncomfortable, but this is just because your body has never had the opportunity to metabolize what you've been carrying. Your awakening means you can no longer repress them. And it's why you'll find yourself drawn to water, herbal teas, raw meals, warm broths, or fasting without realizing why. That's when your intuition comes in. Your soul is helping your body back into proper harmony. So, if your gut is acting strangely during this waking phase, don't be afraid of disease. Two guys wonder, what am I willing to let go of emotionally? You might be amazed at how soon the ache passes. Your stomach is not broken. It's getting honest. And that honesty is why your soul came here. You did not lift anything heavy. You did not overexert yourself. Nonetheless, you wake up with tight shoulders, hurting hips, and a neck that feels like it has borne the weight of the universe overnight. This ache is not due to a physical injury. It's an energetic compression unwinding. You've carried agony in your body for years. Anger in the jaw, grief in the chest, guilt in the low back, trauma to the thighs. And your enlightenment causes a strong cleanse. Not via your head, but via your fascia muscles and joints. As your consciousness grows, your body can no longer endure constriction. It starts to release in layers. Muscles that were numb start to wake up. Areas that you had forgotten existed begin to pain due to movement rather than injury. Internal, undetectable, intense movement. You may feel as if you slept poorly or that you are carrying unnecessary anxiety. But look deeper. These are the places where you formerly kept the emotions you couldn't handle. They're finally coming out. You will observe patterns and tight traps. Following a very emotional day, when you oppose a life change, you may have hip strain as well as neck ache if you are constantly silencing yourself. It is not random. It is somatic truth. Sometimes stretching is beneficial. Crying can sometimes be more effective because it releases something other than muscular exhaustion. It is memory, and it's old. You are not falling apart. You are finally softening. So, the next time your body feels sore for no apparent reason, take a moment. Breathe into that gap. Do not numb it. Do not rush to solve it. Listen, for your body is no longer willing to bear what your spirit has decided to release. That discomfort, it is sacrosanct. You used to listen to music throughout the day. Now you're overwhelmed. The television seems to be too loud. Busy situations are too much. You recoil at startling noises, Yet you may also become lost in gentle tones. The hum of a fan rainfall, the sound of wind in the trees has been increased, both in terms of discomfort and beauty. Why? Because your energy field is recalibrating. Your spirit no longer responds to noise. It's tuned for frequency. And this frequency shift affects how your nervous system processes sound. Unexpected loud noises seem like invasions. They cause tightness in your shoulders and worry in your chest. But slow, deep, grounded noises like gongs, bulls, nature seems to draw you inward. You are fascinated not by amusement, but by resonance. This is a strong indicator of waking. Your ears are not broken. They're perfecting. You can even feel ear ringing. Not tinnitus, but rather spontaneous tones in one or both ears. That's your field getting modest light frequency activations. It isn't always pleasant, but it indicates that your body is adjusting to a new level of perception. Eventually, you'll start to want silence. You will no longer tolerate pointless babble. You'll turn off music you used to like because it feels crowded. You'll find yourself preferring natural soundscapes over your favorite music, not because of boredom, but because your spirit is seeking alignment. This is not acoustic sensitivity. It's a respect for vibrations. Your awakening begins the moment you stop hearing with your ears and stop listening with your entire body. You're sitting still and noticing it. Your breath has become deeper. It is not stuck in your chest. You're totally sailing, inhaling softly as if something is breathing through you. This is one of the most obvious yet less discussed indications of awakening. Unconscious breath alteration when your spirit awakens. Your breathing patterns change naturally, rather than as a result of meditation or technique. Why? Because breathing is your direct link to the life energy. And when your spirit begins to guide the body, the lungs expand completely for the first time in years. You quit holding your breath due to anxiousness. You quit breathing shallowly because of habit. Instead, your body returns to the present moment. And in that presence, your breath becomes deeper. This symbol is modest but powerful. You may find yourself sighing frequently, yawning for no apparent reason, or even pausing to observe how your rib cage expands from grace rather than effort. Your body no longer tries to survive. It is attempting to accept. And with each inhalation, you embrace truth, while each exhale releases deception. There is no requirement for skill when doing this breath change. It requires attentiveness. The more you notice it, the more your body recalls what it feels like to be secure. So, if you've been breathing differently recently, with greater depth, rhythm, or even emotion, consider it a divine confirmation. Your body no longer braces. It's an awakening. One day, you're sitting calmly when something unexpected occurs. You can still see your hands. You can still use your legs. But it seems like your body is becoming less substantial, as if the barrier between you and everything else is eroding. Your limbs feel a bit distant. Your sensation of bodily weight is gone. It is not terrifying. It is not frightening, but it's strangely liberating. This is one of the most unusual and significant bodily indicators that your awakening has begun. The blurring of bodily boundaries. This is not dissociation. It is not a medical crisis. This is not a panic response. It is something far deeper. Your energy body is extending beyond the skin. Your consciousness is no longer locked within your muscles. Your posture, you have 5 senses. It is beginning to perceive itself as something far larger. You may notice this during meditation, but it may happen at any moment, whether strolling, lying down, or even chatting to someone. There is a sudden sense that you are in the room, not only in your brain, as if you were taking in everything, not simply your own experience. Why is this happening? because spiritual awakening breaks down the illusion of separation. The first thing to go is the inflexible sense of self that says, I am simply this body. Your soul begins to remind you that you're not only your body, but also the space surrounding it, that you are form and field. This sensation will not continue forever. It comes in waves, but when it does, it leaves an impression, a sensation of lightness and a softening of the ego. A time when you feel less constrained and more expansive. You are not vanishing, you are expanding. And your body is gradually adapting to the reality that your spirit has always understood. You're not a container. You're current. Your body is not confused. It is finally free. Your body is the most honest aspect of you. It does not lie. It does not play along. It does not pretend to be fine. And as your spirit begins to evolve, the body is the first to react. It softens. It shook. It resists. It lets go. Most people believe that waking begins in the head, but it actually starts in the neurological system, in your breath, muscles, senses, digestion, and skin. It whispers through the symptoms. It pleads for stillness. And if you pay attention, it will give you the entire narrative. You get a buzzing sensation. That's energy returning, heat present, and agony. The truth is emerging. The breath is your soul, remembering who it truly is. These severe bodily symptoms are not punishments. These are activations. Your spirit has chosen to discard what is no longer necessary, not only in mind, but also in physical form. And the body, your precious vessel, is guiding the way. So do not disregard these movements. Do not be afraid of the unfamiliar. Most essential, do not try to mend something that is not broken. Whatever is occurring to you is holy. You're no longer the same person. Your body recognizes it. And so do you.